too, for how you came here, because over the course of 2 years, you paid $5.3 million for 2 lunches with Warren. How'd that happen?
Donated $5.3 million.
I like your rendition.
Hey, Becky, I've been reading Warren's letters probably since 1979 when I started college, and it was kind of a bucket list thing for me that I always wanted to meet the guy. And I think, as you know, Glide Foundation, terrific charity in San Francisco, does an annual auction, and I wanted to know more about Glide, so I actually spent half a day out at Glide understanding the charity, and I thought, hey, this is a terrific charity. They really help the otherwise helpless, and I bid on the auction and ended up winning.
Did you keep hitting the button at the last minute to try and make sure you were the high bid?
Not quite, but I ended up getting it, and came out to, my only condition on it that I asked for was I wanted to do it anonymously, and I didn't want, we were set up at Smith & Wollensky's, and we opted to do it in Omaha. I actually requested that, and I came out and visited with Warren, and it was just fun. I mean, we really hit it off, and I was expecting kind of a stiff hour or so meeting, and ended up being this, long visit at the office and a terrific dinner where we had a lot of just common interests, and thought about things very similarly, and that was that, and I was pretty happy to have it checked off. And the following year, I said, I really don't want to see the price of this go down. So mentally, I said, if it's going to go for the same price or less, I want to make the donation again and help out Glide, and that happened. And came out the second time, and again, we really just had a terrific visit. And toward the end of the evening, I had my little yellow legal pad of questions I was asking Warren, and I wanted to make sure I hit all of them. And I said, you can ask me anything you want too. And out of the blue, he said, well, I think you might be a good fit at Berkshire. Would you have any interest? And it was the last thing in my mind. It really just completely threw me off.
Did it floor you to hear it?
Totally. Yeah, I mean, it totally threw me off. And but I didn't want to be dismissive. I mean, this guy's like a hero. You can't just say no way. And so I started thinking about it, and it was right at that point. I had run my own fund for 12 years. The regulations on hedge funds were changing. I was going to had a staff of 2 people and me that ran my fund. I was going to have to bring a compliance person in, and life was going to get complicated. I thought, wow, this is actually a way to simplify things and do what I love to do, which is be an analyst.
Yeah. Tracy, your path to Berkshire is one that a lot of people, I know when the students come out to meet with Warren, they always ask him, how did Tracy do that? And should I change my name to start with T? I think that question last week between you 3. How did you find your way to Berkshire?
Well, meeting Warren was also on my bucket list, but I didn't have $5.3 million, so I had to take another path. And I came out with one of the student groups, an organization that I was involved with called Smart Women's Securities. Warren loves to support women in investing and women in business, and it was a great opportunity to meet Warren, and I really enjoyed that experience. Like I said, it was once in a lifetime, and a couple years later, I decided to write a letter to Warren and just say, can I come out and spend a day, a week, a month? I'll do anything if you let me spend some time with you. Fully assuming he would say no, and I would say I tried, and we'd go about our way. But fortunately, he said yes. So I came out that summer, worked on a small project for him, thought, wow, again, this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
What was the project?
I was looking at the Lehman bankruptcy. Yeah. And so it was a very daunting task, and one where I don't think I ended up having too much value to add, but it was really interesting, and it allowed Warren and I to have an opportunity to have a variety of discussions about business, management, investing. And those were all great for me, and I think my guess a good opportunity for him as well to learn more about me.
Warren, you have to get letters all the time from people who want to come to work here. You must meet people all the time. But what about these 3 in particular really jumped out at you?
Sometimes things jump out at you. I mean, the same way as when we bought Iskar. That was a 1.25 page letter from Israel, and we made a $5 billion purchase on it. And it's to some extent, not perfectly, but people do give themselves away. And I've had literally thousands of letters from people who wanted to do hedge fund type or wanted to manage money for us, and they all send along their record and everything. But it's more than having had a good 5 years or something of the sort. I've seen a lot of investment managers come and go, so it's a judgment about their intellect, but it's also just as much a judgment about their character. And we've got the right three here. And they don't come along every day.
They don't.